That's Analogopolis in Juno Beach, Florida.
I was just in there picking up some stuff, so let's see what I got. Greetings, y'all. Welcome to another video. Today we're talking about my recent visit to Analogopolis in Juno Beach, Florida. Kind of interesting that I got to visit this place. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to try to keep this as short as I can. So when I was a kid, I used to work in a movie theater owned by the company General Cinema. They don't exist anymore. But worked there. It was a cool job, blah, 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 blah. There's a Facebook group of people who, you know, like one of those Facebook groups, people who used to work at General Cinema, whatever, and they post pictures from back in the day and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know when it was, a year or 2 years ago, this dude put this picture up and he's like, hey, you know, I have this record store in this town in Florida, and I did the design that painted the place to look like the old General Cinema colors, and the artwork, the fonts and all this stuff. He kind of like mimicked General Cinema for his layout of his record store, and it was kind of cool. And you know, I'm on the road all the time. I always go visit record stores when I'm on the road working, and I you know, commented like, hey, that's pretty cool. You know, if I ever find myself down there, or you know, I'll definitely have to pop in. And kind of forgot all about it. And I think it like somehow it crossed my my mind, and I was like, where was that? Because I knew it was in Florida, but I was like, where was that record store? And I looked it up, and it's literally like, I'm in Jupiter. Juno Beach is like the next town over, and I was like, holy crap! Like I couldn't believe it, because I never thought that I would, you know, ever really be in the area of that record store when I made that comment. But here I was, and you know, and when I discovered where it was, like I passed that shopping center like constantly on my way to FedEx and stuff, and I was like, oh my God, it's right there. I never even crossed my mind. I never noticed it, you know. I finally got my chance to go over there, visit the place. A really cool store, really good selection. Like when I first went in, it's a smaller store, but like I just kind of was like, I wonder if I'm gonna find anything in here, you know. And I started looking through the bins, and I just had this feeling that I was gonna be like forcing myself to find something just to buy, because I didn't just want to walk out on the store and not purchase anything. But I was just like afraid that like, am I gonna really have to spend a bit of dough on something I probably I don't really want, you know. But lo and behold, dude has a great selection of stuff, you know. And I was digging through, and not only did I find something that I wanted to buy, I found a couple of things, you know, but it's really cool. Prices good, you know. He's got used stuff, new stuff. He's also got like a lot of video games and things like that, and probably DVDs and whatever. But we were talking a bit, and he was kind of filling me in, giving me sort of the like behind the curtain sort of inside info about, you know, being a record store owner in this day and age, and dealing with things like Record Store Day, and you know, artists with you know, some of the like exclusive releases and stuff. And it was kind of like a bummer to hear sort of how some of these record stores, the smaller ones like this, they get kind of screwed a little bit. You didn't really think they did, but they do get kind of screwed a little. Or maybe you did. No, maybe that shouldn't have been a big shock to me. But it was cool, and I highly recommend, if you're in Juno Beach, to check out the store. It's really cool. Dude is really cool to talk to, and they got a great selection. So let's take a look at what I got. 1997, we get Brand 3000, and their album Glee, which is always kind of weird because the cover art looks like it should be the back of the CD. That's what they did. Kind of like, I don't know, like kind of a weird mix up of kind of like hip hop elements, electronic elements, alternative elements. Kind of hard to kind of place exactly where they fit. But I kind of had been looking for this CD for a little while now, just never really crossed my paths. Some photos and some lyrics inside the booklet here. There was one tune, and one tune only, that I knew by the band, and that was Drinking in LA. I remember when that song came out back in the mid-90s, and I don't know, I just remember hearing it probably a lot on the radio, maybe K-Rock or Y107 back in those days in Los Angeles, or maybe even MTV. I can't picture the video in my head, but I'm sure there was one. But it was a cool song. I don't know, just always liked that song, and just, you know, something that I kind of had always been on the look for, but never found it. And I go in there, and he's got a pretty good selection of used CDs, and I think it was like right there, like staring at me. I was like, oh, there you go. Grabbed it, and I think it was like only like $1 or $2. I think all used CDs that day were $2, so it was only $2. And the record's okay. I'm not bananas about it. It's okay. A couple other tracks on here I kind of thought were all right were Couch Surfer, Everywhere, Mama Don't Smoke, and then they do a cover of Come On Feel the Noise, which was like what, Slade, I think, but everybody knows that song from the Quiet Riot cover. It's kind of a weird cover. It's not that great. When I first saw that it was on there, I was like, is that a cover? Come on, it must be a cover. And I listened to it. I was kind of pretty anxious to hear it, and it was kind of like, it's okay. But yeah, not a bad pickup, but didn't blow me away. 2003, we got Fountains of Wayne and their album Interstate. Welcome, Interstate Managers. There's my receipt. Analogopolis. Yeah, so these used CDs were $2 each. I got some vinyl coming up. That'll keep you watching, won't it? But I think I paid about $30 total in the store. Always good to help out the mom and pop shops. Ooh, I can speak today. So anyways, Fountains of Wayne. This I think is like, this must be like their biggest record, I would think. Mainly off the back of the hit song Stacy's Mom. You all remember that one? Had the video with Rachel Hunter, and very 80s and drenched video and song. Sort of almost a tribute to the Cars. These guys must have loved the Cars. I don't know if Rick Ocasek ever produced, I feel like these guys produced their own stuff, but did they? Yeah. But it wouldn't have surprised me if Rick Ocasek produced anything for these guys, but they obviously have a love for the Cars. Everyone should. These dudes, man, they knew their way around like a catchy song, man. It's no wonder that Tom Hanks hired them to write the hit song for That Thing You Do for his fake band in that movie, because these guys just know their way around a catchy tune. And it's funny because like I always liked stuff that I heard by them, but I never really picked up their records. I think I had Utopia Parkway or whatever. I had that for a long time, and that was it. And then maybe a year or something ago, I don't know, I picked up their debut, and now I have this one. And you know, just going through these, and just the songs, just like every one of them, you're just like, yeah, man, this is catchy as hell, you know? Like, I mean, these guys, they were kind of successful. I mean, like I said, Stacy's Mom was their most successful song, but there's that other element where you almost feel like they wrote such catchy stuff that they should have been even bigger. But the tunes on here I like are Mexican Wine, Bright Future in Sales, Hackensack, Valley Winter Song, Hey Julie is another really, really catchy song. But yeah, all of them are just really some cool stuff, you know. Great band. 1981, we got some vinyl, everybody. Everybody loves the vinyl. Dead Kennedys, In God We Trust. EP, I guess, 8 songs. I guess, I don't know, 8 songs, is that an EP? I mean, they're so short, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, enjoy the Dead Kennedys quite a bit. I have, I don't know, 2 or 3 CDs by them. This is the first I've picked up on vinyl. This has the great Nazi Punks Fuck Off on it, which is an awesome tune. What's this say? Remastered from the original studios. This must be a reissue. Yeah, because there's a website. So this is a reissue, remastered from the original studio taped at 45 RPM. And here's the record. There's no sleeve. Nice. This is used, but it's a nice, clean, like new copy. Still has the shrink wrap on it. I wonder if these came. The dude who owns it, his name is Thomas. Is his name? I'm wondering if some of this stuff came from like his personal collection. Enjoy having some Dead Kennedys on vinyl. Looking forward to popping this one on when I get home. 1985, some more vinyl. We got a guilty pleasure here. Honeymoon Suite, The Big Prize. Always like that album cover art. Niagara Falls, little honeymoon thing. And there's the band, hair metal, everyone, Canadian band. I was not big on the hair metal scene. You know, there's songs in that genre that was happening in the mid to late 80s that I liked. I mean, a lot of them were almost like top 40 songs, like pop songs, you know, that just happened to have like a guitar solo in the middle of them or something. But there's catchy songs in it, but I didn't like have a ton of the records and everything by them. But for some reason, I remember I had this on cassette and I bought it on CD, and now I have it on vinyl. But I don't think I have the cassette anymore. I think I gave that away. But I don't know, this record I just enjoy. When it comes to like that hair metal, this, I would have to say, like out of all those like hair metal bands and all that stuff, out of all those albums, I would say this maybe was my favorite. Just some of the songs are just really catchy, and I'm not embarrassed to be holding this up in front of everybody. You know, whatever. It's a good record. I like it. You know. But here, let me open it up. What am I doing? This is used. It was a little bit pricier, maybe $14 or something, but that's okay. It's in pretty good condition. Let's see, Warner Brothers. And you got this little hooligan that falls there, and you got the band, of course, with some notes. Bruce Fairbairn produced this. Ted Templeman, I think, produced their follow-up, which wasn't as good, but you know, they were working with good producers. They never really that successful. They were probably pretty successful in Canada, but US, you know, like, you know, I don't know that they had, like, I think maybe one of these tunes was pretty popular, did well, but they weren't like a lot of those other hair metal bands who had like the big ballad #1 song or something like that. But this record's got some catchy tunes on it. Bad Attitude, Feel It Again, that may have hit the top 40, I'm not sure, I can't remember, I'm pretty sure it did. What Does It Take was also released as a single. That was in the movie One Crazy Summer, which is a really funny movie from the 80s if you haven't seen it. I remember, that might be how I discovered this. I remember maybe heard that song in One Crazy Summer and liked it, and then kind of sought it out. Wounded is a really good song. That's like 80s hair metal, like right down the line, you know, like probably could have been released as a single and done pretty well. Once the Feeling was pretty good. Yeah, it's good, you know, I mean, as far as hair metal song albums go, I really, like I said, this is probably, if I had to pick a favorite out of that genre, this is it for sure. So yeah, it's kind of fun seeing that there and picking it up. And when I saw it, I kind of was like, you know, that's kind of the thing where maybe you see it there and you're like, oh man, I remember that one, and just kind of move on. But I don't know, I think when I saw it there, I just instantly was like, I'm gonna buy that, what the hell. So that's what I picked up at Analogopolis in Juno Beach, Florida. Like I said, cool shop, really cool place. Check it out by all means if you're in that area. And let me know what you think of these. Let me know what you think of Honeymoon Suite, y'all. How about that? Following the Dead Kennedys with Honeymoon Suite. Who would have thought? Yeah, let me know what you think of these. And thank you for watching. And we shall see you another time later, y'all.